One of the questions I always get asked when it comes to booking more appointments is, how do I actually do this through cold calling? I call 100 leads every single day, and people don't pick up, or when they do pick up, they don't get positive responses. And in this video, I'm going to show you the script or the methodology that I use to actually book tons of meetings through cold calls that I do, not just for myself, but for my clients as well. So if you're not familiar with who I am, my name is Ben Lister, and I help agencies to grow by documenting my learnings here on this YouTube channel that help me to make multi-six figures per year. So the biggest thing really then is that everyone focuses on, what should I say at the start, right? What should my opener be? Should I say, I'll be honest, this is a cold call? Should I say, hey, this is Ben, we haven't spoken before, but is it okay if I get 30 seconds? Whatever it is, it doesn't really matter your opener. All it matters is that you create some kind of curiosity. You basically get someone to answer the phone and to say, okay, what are you calling about? And they don't just want to hang up on you straight away. And if you can do that, that's 90% of the battle won. The next thing that you need to focus on, and I would say is maybe the most important part of actually making sure the booking is completed, is making sure that you just have complete, unwavering confidence and conviction in your voice. The way that you say the words is so much more important than the words that you are actually saying. And it's kind of confusing why. It doesn't really make a lot of sense to me why, but people, for some reason, if you just have extreme amount of confidence, if you just say, John, we can get you 10 to 20 leads every single month, and I have never been more sure of that. I know for a fact that we can do this for you. We've done this for so many companies. I'd be shocked if we couldn't do this for you. If you say that in a much more, aggressive almost tone, and you're just sort of forcing it down them, you're basically saying, there is no way this doesn't happen. People have just a lot more conviction than if you give them, facts, evidence, reasons why this can happen. And it's something to do with the psychology of the brain, right? People just have this kind of weird sort of drive towards someone who has charisma and confidence, but it's basically how it works. And so if you are someone out there who is, on the phone and you're a little bit nervous, you're John, I can definitely give you these appointments out. I think I can. It's not going to work, right? Someone is just going to put the phone down on you. They know you're not serious. You're not someone that's been in the game for a while. And for whatever reason, this confidence just comes across so much on the phone. And you really want to think about a cold call is almost the first part of a sales conversation, right? If you do cold email, social media, whatever it is, you don't have to speak to this person, okay? Because you just send them a message, don't you? Whereas when you're on the phone, there's kind of no escaping. If you don't have that immediate confidence and conviction, then it wouldn't make sense for the person who's taking the sales call, which will probably still be you, to then all of a sudden be confident and convicted. And people can very, very quickly see through the fact that if you don't have that confidence, if the tonality isn't correct, that maybe you're not the right person to solve their problem. And so obviously the only way to get this kind of confidence and this kind of conviction is to just have repetitions, right? You obviously want to repeat many different cold calls. You want to have, thousands, if not tens of thousands of cold calls in the bank. And you can very easily do this if you just, if this is your main acquisition channel. And obviously the more sales calls you do, the more confident you're going to be. And obviously the main thing with this is if your service is actually good, if you perfected your service, if your service now, and if you're getting yourself to a point where virtually every single one of your clients is getting the amount of leads or appointments that you've quoted them, then you're going to have a lot of confidence in your service, right? So with the service that I have right now, always hit our targets, basically never miss. And we have like a very, very high client satisfaction rate. And so I know, for example, when I'm jumping on a call with someone, I can be confident, I can have conviction, I can basically say, some pretty bold claims, because I know for a fact that we can do that, right? And there's no doubt in my mind. And so if I have a prospect who I know is the right kind of conditions and they're a good fit for what we do, and I tell them that, then they're going to believe me, because why would you not? It's almost like there's a reality TV show that's in the UK that's pretty popular right now called The Traitors, right? And it's basically just people lying to each other for the whole time. It's kind of silly, but you can almost tell straight away. And obviously, as the people on the game show can tell who is lying based on the way that they're talking, the way that they're acting. And so when someone is telling the truth, it's very obvious, even though obviously everyone is lying and everyone is telling, their own kind of story. You can tell who's actually the one who's telling the truth. And this comes across in sales calls and cold calls, and it's the same kind of thing, right? If you have that confidence, if you know for a fact that you are going to go to the ends of the earth to get this person the leads and the appointments and, the solution that they want, then your cold calls are going to be effective, right? But if you're not too sure on yourself, maybe you've just been in the agency game for a week or so, and you're not really too sure, you thought, I'll just cold call these guys and see if they'll give you some money. it's probably not going to work out for you. But if you have a business plan, if you know what you're doing, if you basically have a bit of proof of concept there, then that's where confidence and conviction comes across. And so it's not about saying this one specific word. It's not about this opening line. It's not about this, even a specific offer, for example. If you just have the confidence that you can solve someone's problem, then the chance of them booking a call is just so much higher. And now, if you've done any cold calling, you've probably come into gatekeepers, and gatekeepers are the person who answers the phone who isn't the person you're looking for. So if you're looking for the business decision maker, John, and you answer the phone and it is his assistant, his secretary, the receptionist, whoever it may be, you need to get them to put you through to John. And if they don't, then obviously you're not going to be booking an appointment, because these people are told to not put through salespeople, and they are trained a little bit, some of them aren't great, to actually stop the person from getting through. So if they say, if you say, for example, I'm looking for John, I'm looking to sell him my marketing services, they're just going to put the phone down. They're not even going to give you any sort of response, right? But if, for example, you approach the gatekeeper and you act as if you know John, you've spoken to John before, hey, is John there? Is John around? They'll always say this, by the way. They will say, no, he's not here right now. What's it about? But John is there, right? Okay, yes, obviously John will be in the office at some point. Every time you ring, it's not a complete coincidence that John is never there. The decision maker is never there. He's always there, but the receptionist, the gatekeeper, has been told to tell you that he's not. And so in a situation like this, what I like to do is make it seem like I have an appointment with him, and it was like, oh, he was expecting my call. He better know that my call's coming, something like that. And they will actually think, oh God, if I miss something, they're on the calendar, and they'll be looking. And then sometimes they will just put you through, because obviously you've had so much confidence and so much conviction that you are the person that is supposed to be calling them right now, and you have some pre-arranged meeting with John. And so they might ask you questions at this point. They might say, who are you calling with? Where are you calling from? And if you just give them some really vague answers at this point, the chance that they are going to keep pushing you, especially when they've got so much stuff to do and you're keeping them on the phone, they're probably just going to put you through, because obviously the chance that you're a salesperson at this point is getting increasingly small, because a person wouldn't keep going like this. And if you just almost make it seem as if you should be in this place, you should be calling, John should be expecting your call right now, then you have a much higher chance of getting put through to the decision maker. And a lot of people get quite scared and a little bit anxious when it comes to actually doing the cold calls, and I can understand it. I can appreciate why it is pretty difficult. You're going to have some very, very rough cold calls where people swear at you, they tell you to go kill yourself, they basically laugh at you or anything like that, right? And you just have to come from it from a place that if you are presenting an offer to them or business, you probably do have a business formation right now, like an LLC in America, or in the UK it's a limited company. If someone is basically putting the phone down on you, they're not putting it down on you personally, because you're not the person anymore. Basically like a new entity right now. And so if, for example, someone does put the phone down on you, or someone does say something that is offensive or anything like that, then I always come from a place that it's not me that they're putting the phone down on, it's not me that they are rejecting or whatever. It is basically my company, which is now a separate thing. And there's so much distance now. Sometimes I do it for my clients where, if I'm recording like a YouTube video or something, and I just don't even feel like any sort of, if someone says anything bad, it just doesn't even affect me in the slightest, because it's so far removed from me. Because, for example, it's not even my business, it's my client's business. And, we have like 1,000 leads here where we're going to call. And if we just book, a few appointments from that, then the client's going to be happy. And obviously we're going to have good results from that. So one person saying no, or one person, putting the phone down or being rude, it's just probably not the end of the world. And that's kind of the attitude that I have when it comes to it. And the number one way to get over this is basically to just keep going, just keep calling. If you do 100 dials every single day, by the third or fourth day, you're just not going to feel any sort of anxiety or emotion that comes with facing cold calls. By the way, if you are looking to sign more clients, then click the first link in the description. It's not some crazy opt-in or anything like that. It's literally just a video of me explaining what my company does and how we do this and the results that we've had in the past. But you don't have to click it, of course. I don't really care if you do or not. But if you like the video, then like the video, comment if you want me to cover anything specifically, and subscribe if you are new. But yeah, appreciate you watching this until the end. Cheers.